It's your boy, and we are back once more and again for another empowerment session live. I got somebody unique and special on here today. The Renee Dillon. Say hey to the people.
Hey people, how y'all doing? I'm Renee.
Yes, sir. I got Renee on here, man. I'm so glad she came on here. I've been knowing her for I don't know, a long time.
Been a minute, yeah.
All the time. So, Renee on here, she's a future fashion icon. If y'all have heard of Louis Vuitton, this is the next Louis Vuitton. So, Nay, what got you started in fashion? What was your motivation behind starting in fashion?
I have always been into fashion. Like when I was in 4th grade, I used to watch America's Next Top Model. You know, we were all wanting to be the next top model. So that was like where I started. But then being a plus size woman, it's like, well, the fashion industry doesn't really look to me to do fashion. So that's where my love for designing came in, because I was able to design things for myself and I can walk my own things. I don't have to be somebody else's model because, you know, they're not looking for me. So my motivation was basically for me to do my own thing in fashion. I don't have to conform to anybody else's trends or anything like that. Like I can start my own trends. So that's kind of where I started. In 5th grade was when I had my first fashion show. I walked in it and they also let me help style everybody. So it was real lit. It was super fun. And from then on, I was doing fashion shows every year, whether I was going back to the middle school to go help. And even when I got to college, started to do my own fashion shows. So I was never wanting to conform or to use anybody else's fashion to start my own. Like it was something that I wanted to do because I felt good in the clothes that I made and the clothes that I designed, but I didn't feel good in everybody else's. So it was a lot going on there, but that's the foundation.
That's what's up, man. I hear a lot of trailblazing in the tone this morning. I hear a lot of like, I'm about to do my own thing and be a blueprint and a template for the next person. So with that, I hear you started in 4th grade. I hear you say you was in 5th grade. In college, what did the college scene? Because being in college, you got a lot of folks that's trying to do something and trying to find themselves. But in college, how did you specifically hone your craft in college?
So I'm a senior currently, about to graduate. But my freshman year, I go to DePaul University, super white, super liberal, but not liberal, but it's a liberal arts, but like a lot of racism, things like that. But it was pretty much up to me to find my space and find myself on this campus. This is something I signed up for 4 years. So, you know, I just have to make do what it do. So my freshman year, I started immediately working in the costume shop. I just kind of walked past I was in the theater building and walked past the costume director, and that became my work study. Like me and her was talking and she was like, you know, I don't really care that you're Black or whatever, like you're fine, you can work in the costume shop, we need people and you come with a lot of talent. So I was like, hey, you know, let's go in. And so from there I started to help design the costumes for the theater productions, and I was also helping make clothes and also building my crafts while I was in there. I didn't work every day, so you know, the days I did go in, that was my time to hone in on my craft and really take in the knowledge that I was learning. So that's kind of where I started. And then also my freshman year, because I was in the costume shop, it gave me access to a lot of fabric and clothes and stuff. So that's when I put on my first fashion show. My first fashion show was called Getting Back to Our Roots, The Evolution of Black Fashion. Boom. Already out the door, I'm already giving them all my Blackness. And that fashion show really set the path for everything that I was about in college, as far as embracing my Black identity, embracing my womanhood, just embracing myself wholeheartedly. And with the first fashion show that I had, I was able to do that. And not only by myself, but I had models who were students at the school, all Black students. And I had styled everybody and made a lot of clothes for this show. And it wasn't to show any like, how do I, it wasn't about showing Black oppression. Like, I'm over it. We don't need any more movies, any more videos about the oppression of Black people. We're moving forward. And so my goal for that show was to show the beauty behind the decade, well, beauty behind the decades and the beauty behind the fashion that Black people had within over the years, within those different decades, and how we're using those same patterns, those same ideas to create our looks and our fashions nowadays. I hope that made sense. But that's essentially what I was doing in college, well, my freshman year. And every year after that, every fashion show that I had was centering Black identities in one way, shape, or form. My sophomore year, the next fashion show was about Black, it was called Black Revelation. And so the redefining of Black identities and also the future of Blackness and what that looks like. So I took it in the very Afro-futuristic perspective. So everything was very glamorous, shiny, you know, things like that, very royal-esque, as I would like to say, because we don't usually see that. And yeah, it's royal-esque. Royal-esque. Hashtag copyrighted. Boom. That's mine. So yeah, what? Oh, yes, Afrofuturism. And so we don't see a lot of high fashion that includes Black people as the center. And so that was where I wanted to center Blackness and center the beauty that comes from new fashion, I guess. So nothing was pulled from a different decade like the first one. This was all new ideas and new perspectives, and pretty much all designs that I wanted to showcase that also kind of highlighted and spotlighted Black people in a different way. So I did use a lot of shiny things, a lot of bedazzles, a lot of glitter, just to emphasize the beauty and emphasize the radiance that exists within Black people. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it's very what's the word I'm looking for? Very authentic in the Black culture. Like to be able to change the focus from the oppression to the celebration is such a pivotal moment, because we oftentimes, we have all these movies, we have all these memes, but to choose to celebrate everything that we are is such a phenomenon. I have to really appreciate you for even taking that stance. And you're at a PWI now. That's a predominantly white institution, for y'all don't know. Experiencing and walking in the fulfillment of all your Blackness, coming into a presence of I am Black and hear me roar, and in this current stage where we is, being a Black woman, being that, we got the first Blasian female vice president right now, and you being that same, you're kind of on that same tip of being that model for the Black woman. How would you say that makes you feel, and how motivated you are to actually be that first Black woman that says, "Hear my Blackness, I'm finna do the dog thing in the fashion industry"? How does that make you feel right
now? I feel a lot of ways. Like, I'm excited to, be able to be the person that people look up to and be able to be a role model for children. Children are going to be my focus, like, as I progress. We can get to that later, but like, I'm really doing it for the children that are under me. And because it's hard being a first, it's hard being a person that doesn't have anybody to look after or look up to or things like that within the realm. And so me taking this step is about me being motivated by the things that I know I can do and using what I know I can do to progress. And then from there, people that want to help me are more than welcome to come and help me, but I'm not going to sit and rely on somebody else to do the work that I know I can do. So a lot of my motivation comes from do I really want to do this? And if I do, I need to know everything that I need to know about progressing in this world. And yes, I can use other people, but when I found that I was relying on other people, the vision that I wanted didn't get portrayed. The authenticity wasn't there. Everything was just for show. But I'm not here just to show things off. Like, no, I'm here to make a movement and to progress the Black community. So I don't need to be around people who just kind of want to tokenize or use this as a platform to do other things. So it's more so about me being confident in what I do and being confident that I can make get the message out that I want to make, that I want to have. So that's like where I'm motivated.
You mentioned something about the kids and walking in a level of confidence. What is the thing that you would say to, how are you, 22, 20 something,
Yeah.
21,
22.
22. Just a question. What would you say to that 7-year-old Renee that has a thought process of like, man, could I really do this? What would you say to that young lady?
I think 7-year-old Renee already knew she was powerful, just didn't know how to go about it. Everywhere that I went, people knew who I was. I was a smart kid. I was the fun kid. Everybody wanted me in their group, but there was always something I felt that was missing. I felt like people only wanted to be around me because I could bring something better to the table, but like they didn't really want to be my friend, but they just wanted the things that I could do for them. It's not necessarily a bad thing because it made me realize how powerful I am and how much I can bring to the table. And so instead of me thinking about it as they only want you because of this, think about it as they're not going to get you even though you have these things. Like, you don't have to give away your talents to everybody. So I would tell her, like, don't give away yourself just because people want to be around you or that you don't want to be by yourself. Like, you're fine. You're going to grow into this woman that has made many changes. And even if we don't continue or something happens and, the direction changes, is everything that we've done up until this point is going to be flawless, and it's going to be something that changes the world, even if it's just a little bit. So 7-year-old Renee, don't feel bad that, people are only using you for your talents, because those talents are going to be grown and they're going to help you progress and be the individual that you've always wanted to be. And you're going to know that you can do things by yourself. You don't have to have a group all the time. You don't have to rely on people all the time. You can use your talents and use what you know to move forward. And then also, don't just let people, just think they're your friend because it is. Like, you're respectable, you're valued. Like, people not just gonna run over you and you exploit your talents and exploit you because of who you are. Like, you can say no to things, you can say no to people. It's hard, but you can say no.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a lot.
I think you just said something to my grown self. My goodness. Well, I got two more questions. This has been great, phenomenal. I really feel the inspiration to be able to watch you grow from a space that I've watched you grow. It's just like, it's hands down phenomenal. What does your team look like? So, you know what I'm saying? Being a visionary, you can only, like you said, you have the power to do a lot of things, but being a visionary, you have to have a team to be able to help you to spread the message, help you that you don't run so thin, you know what I'm saying? So what does your team look like?
I don't have like an official team on this person does this person does that. I think currently I rely a lot on DePaul for, the money and things like that, and just the resources.
Where the money reside. Come on here.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I was never afraid to ask different organizations if they could help me fund my projects. And it's a matter of, the worst they can say is no. So if I don't even ask, that's something that I've been learning. Like, if I ask, then, at least I got the question out there. So a lot of my team has been people basically that wanted to help. So now if I talk about like my fashion shows, most of those I did um pretty much by myself, but I did have like a right hand man at one point. She's a woman, but right hand man to help like navigate
Right.
models and help me organize and things like that. But as I got like older, since I wasn't on campus, I rely heavily on kind of the things that I knew and just people that I've met throughout my time being in Atlanta and still doing fashion and modeling.
Mm.
My girlfriend is a model, so being in spaces with her has given me more outlets and more exposure to people. So I just go to the fashion to the photo shoots and style her. But even just that, that's a representation of who I am. So just using her as a platform as well. And then when I go to those places, connect with people, mingle, and then they become a part of my team. So I have 1,000 photographers. I have a lot of people that now want to model. So it's like, it's just about me stepping out of my comfort zone and not being afraid to talk to these people. I'm really not afraid to talk to people, but sometimes I can get kind of shy. So it's just making sure that I connect and build those connections. I don't need to use everybody, but at least I have somebody in my back pocket that I know I can call on if I need their help. I'm still building my team, delegations and things, but it's a growing process, and I'm not going to let the people that I don't have on my team or the things that I need help with, I'm not going to let those things kind of stop me from what I'm doing. I'm pretty just going to find it out by myself or figure it out and go from there. Because I know in the future I'll have somebody to do this thing for me. So I can do the groundwork. It's all about doing the groundwork for yourself so that folks can know that you are for real about this and that you really that you're about your business. Because a lot of people, they don't hop on teams or they don't hop on to organizations unless they are for certain that they're going to get something out of it or that they're going to grow. So I'm just setting the foundation for myself with the little things that I can do.
Wow, man. You can always style your boy anytime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just got a new machine, so I just gotta go get some fabric, and I will bust out all of it.
Last question: How were you able? Because I hear so much strength from you. Like, how were you able to cultivate your strengths?
Can you define cultivate? Like I've heard this one before, but for some reason the question is like going over my head. How was I able to cultivate my strengths?
With the development, like
boom. That's what I thought.
Developing your strengths. Like you saw these were my strong points, and I know these were my weaknesses. But being able to focus on, let me cultivate and develop my strengths. What did those steps look like in developing those spaces?
That was essentially me not saying no to different opportunities that came my way. In the beginning, I would say that it was really of me doing fashion. It was really just me paying attention to what was in front of me. So when I was doing those fashion shows at my old middle school, that was a time for me to learn and grow and understand how to organize fashion shows, how to get people together, how rehearsals should go, things like that. So really a lot of the background. So when it was time for me to like do it myself, I had to like, remember all the things that I learned and then how to apply that to where I am. But then also the small projects that I've done, especially throughout my college experience, have really like helped me cultivate some of those talents and things. A lot of different organizations that were on campus wanted me to do stuff, whether it be for Carnival, I busted out about 5 outfits, bedazzled, hand.
Come on here.
All by hand. And I had a lot of late nights. I had to do the feathers, like it was a lot. But like that was an experience that helped me grow and like it gave me motivation to, well, not even motivation, it gave me that playing field to know how, no, that's not the right word either. It gave me the experience I needed. There we go, to understand like when it's time for a show, what type of time do I need to finish all those outfits? What type of materials to use? What would be better for next time? A lot of the things that I've done have always um, it was always something that I knew I could have done better. And so I take those things and
Mm.
apply them to the next time I do something similar. Um, my cultivation just comes from me not being afraid to mess up and not be embarrassed about messing up. Because I mess up all the time. I mess up all the time, but people still call me to make them things. And I get discouraged sometimes when I feel like this might be a new project or the person I'm working with might be a little bit more not picky, but certain, I guess, about what they want. And so people like that have really also helped me in developing my skills because, you know, they're the ones, they don't want any wrinkles, they don't want any threads out of place. And that's given me more of an idea of what to look for in my details. Like, that's where I'm at now, like making sure all the details are there because I can do the basics, but you know, fine tuning everything and making sure it looks presentable, all those different aspects have been something I've been like building as I get more projects and I get more involved in what I'm doing.
Man, listen, my mind is racing right now. I'm just thinking right now, something I can do. Every show that we do on this Power Session Live, we give the guest 2 minutes to inspire, empower, educate, and enhance the next person. So I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to inspire that young lady that is even has a thought to do something. What would you tell that person in 2 minutes?
Okay. If you have something that you know you want to do, you're passionate about doing it, stay confident in that thing and continue to do research on that thing. For me, it was fashion design. So making sure I watched Project Runway, you know, watching different shows that cater to that interest or just putting yourself out there. Like, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. That's another thing. So nowadays, TikTok is real big. Make you a TikTok about whatever it is that you're doing. And put your cute little song behind it, and that in itself will like get you where you need to go. But don't be afraid to put yourself out there, definitely, and stay confident and about what you're doing. Don't let anybody discourage you about what your ideas are, what your plans are, because new ideas is what creates the society that we live in. Like everything that we are surrounded by is because somebody had a new idea. So if they can make stoplights and cars, then you can do whatever it is that you want to do. So don't let anybody tell you that you can't do that or that's not possible, because as we can see, thousands of things are possible. Just all you have to do is think about it and be motivated by what that thing is.
Man, wow. Whew. Let me take a deep breath real quick. Inhale. Man. So where can they find you on the social media, all platforms? Where can they find you at?
Oh, all my platforms are different. So mostly just stick with me on on Instagram. That one is its_Royal Chic. My brand is Royal Chic Industries.
Okay.
So if you see me, it'll say welcome to the Queendom. So that's me. I have a TikTok. It's I._Royal, but that's more, you know, personal, but I also put my fashion things up there. I don't have Twitter. It was hard to navigate. And Facebook, if you want to be my friend, just send me a request. It's Renee Dillard. My name is with an apostrophe, capital N. So yeah, I think that's all social medias.
Okay,
but
cool.
Mostly, yeah. But mostly the its_Royal Chic. Yeah. IG.
Got you. The other week I was on Instagram. You had this thing with pockets. This little one, not a onesie. It looked like
the nightgown.
Yeah, nightgown. Let folks know where they can get that nightgown at.
So this is another designer that I've been working with. She wanted me to model, so you know I do both.
Let them go.
So she sells nightgowns, sweaters, face masks. She's all of it, and her Instagram is Clothes Rural Fashion. So you can check her out as well. She's on my Instagram. I tagged her in the picture. So she has like 2 different Instagram accounts. But Clothes Rule Fashion is one of them. But they're also tagged in that. And the website is on my Instagram. Yeah.
Got you. Man, thank you so much. Last thing, if y'all like Operation Empowerment Nation, if y'all would like to bless Renee, what is your Cash App or Venmo, PayPal? What's that?
What? Not the Cash App? Yes.
Ching ching.
Cash sign only #1 Royal. Okay.
Okay.
That's me. And then my first name will pop up. I'm also might be selling my magazine. I just have to get them printed out. So I did create a magazine a couple weeks ago.
All right.
For class. It was for school, but you know, it's lit. So y'all should check it out. The link to the digital copy is on my Instagram as well. And it's gonna be coming down May 7th because you know, subscriptions and stuff. But
all right now.
But I'm getting it printed out. If you want a copy, just hit me up. I can make sure you have a copy. And then I'll also just have them kind of all around Atlanta. So be on the lookout for that.
For sure. For sure. I appreciate you so much, y'all. I'm telling you, this is a person to be watching in the near future, in the current present. She is doing the doggone thing. I am so proud of her for just doing the amazing stuff. I'm inspired. I feel like going to make me a t-shirt right now. Start selling it right now because it is called a doggone station. But yeah, y'all go follow her on her IG. Y'all get that stuff. Y'all cash out her. And y'all know me. It's your boy. Y'all see me every day with the Empowerment Moment. Flip flop, you don't stop. Peace, love, and red hair grease.